Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome. So, I just have a couple things to say um, while people are just joining. So, yeah, I'll just get started with that. Yes, this is basically my first time live streaming. I did a surprise test one yesterday, and it went well. So, we'll see how this goes. But yeah, so I'll be keeping this stream up afterwards. So let me. I gotta check the chat. Oh, hello, everybody. Yeah, I'll be keeping this stream up afterwards. So I'll add timestamps in the description sometime after the stream ends for those that are watching afterwards. So you can check that description or the pinned comment if you want to see what I talk about in this stream. Yeah, it'll be a pretty chill stream. I'm planning on going over my design and just kind of hang out, taking some questions. We'll see if we look at other designs or whatnot. Cool. Hello, Skull Flipper, Slap the Sushi, Pinky Winky. Good to see you guys. See all of you here. Welcome. Okay, so let's see. I am really, as I said, really new to this, so I don't have a good way to look at the chat. Let me pull it up on my phone, which is also where I had my notes. I don't have that many notes. It's mainly just the spec sheet for my Balisong. Okay. Cool. Hello, Cool Pictures, Camper Annihilator, Daniel. Hello, Daniel. Welcome, everybody. Oh, nice. You're going to get the green Crack-a-Rackin' tomorrow. The dragon Crack-a-Rackin'. Very cool. Yeah. So, first of all, I just want to say thank you to everybody. Everybody who's here, everybody who will be watching this afterwards. Thank you to everybody that is subscribed and just watched my channel. It's been, really mind-blowing how people have actually been watching my videos, and so that's been cool. It's been really fun to just share my enjoyment of this hobby with all of you who also enjoy this hobby. I feel like there's no, I don't know when people will get here, when to start going over the design. Yes, Danny, I did not want to mess up your last name, so I didn't attempt that. Sorry. But so I guess for this stream, like I said, I'm going to go over my design, and afterwards, I know when I sent out a post, Jake Flips Balisongs, he suggested maybe looking over the other designs and whatnot. So maybe I could do that. Yeah, you guys in the chat can let me know what you want, or you can just ask questions. And so the plan for the stream, kind of put it up on screen. But if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat at any time. I will do my best to look at them. I noticed yesterday while I was doing the test live stream, anytime I'm really focusing on what I'm talking, I just look away from the chat so I don't get distracted, because I'm easily distracted. So, so when I'm going over the design, if you have any questions of the design, I'll focus on those. But if you have any random general questions afterwards, feel free to ask those. Slap the Sushi says, I can't wait to see what other collabs Nabalis does. Yeah, it'll be really cool to see. It's really cool, all the things that Nabalis are doing, and it's cool to see this contest going on. It's been really cool to see all the different submissions that people have been putting up. I was going to say something else, and then I forgot. Oops, I think I hear something. That was weird. Maybe I didn't. Okay. I'll just double check. Does everything sound good on your end? I appreciate that. Cool Pictures. I feel like I don't, I'm not super deep. I mean, I'm getting more into it, but I'm not super deep into the whole Balisong community on Instagram and whatnot. And so I don't watch a ton of people flipping. So I feel like a lot of it, I just kind of come up with things on my own. And so I feel like that's something that I enjoy to do. So glad people enjoy watching the things I come up with. And just because I say that I come up with them does not mean that I invented them. It just means that I didn't see them someplace else first. Anyway, so okay, it's been 5 minutes. I feel like we've hit 6 people, so that's probably a good time to start. Daniel asks if I have any plans of picking up a canyon, Nabalis Canyon. Maybe do just a flip or do a review. Yeah, the canyon is super interesting to me, and I was really tempted to get one. I think I've kind of like wanted to have a beater. Not that I really like would beat my Balisongs, but I've wanted to have one, and I think that would be a perfect candidate. So I would like the acid wash. Acid wash. Okay, I'll answer one more question, and then I guess we could just get into it. I really don't know when to start this. Cool Pictures asks, out of who you watch, who is your favorite flipper? Yeah, that's a good question. That's I feel like that's a tough question because there's so many people that are really good at flipping and yeah, just do really cool things. So it's hard to pick one, but I feel like recently, I think ever since the West Coast Flipping Championship, James Hill, I think he won that. But I've been watching a lot more of his videos, and he is insane. Like, he is like as good a flipper or better on each one of his hands as most people are on their one hand. He's good at flipping with both hands, whether one Balisong or 2 Balisongs. He's pretty crazy. So yeah, James Hill is pretty amazing to watch. Okay, so I'm just going to start. Oh, I see. Yeah, Skull Flipper got the canyon. It's coming on Thursday. Very nice. But yeah, I'm going to start with the. Let me just double check to make sure that yes, cool. I'm going to start with going over my design. So I will. I guess well, maybe letting any other people join. I'll just kind of talk about what. So, okay, I'll just start from the beginning. So, something else I wanted to mention. This is the 3K subscriber special. I still have not I've not finished editing or uploaded the 2K subscriber special. Apologize for that. I was working. I don't have a lot of time to do Balisong related things, but I was working on the Squid sponsored videos, and then literally right as that was ended, I was like, I was really up to the deadline on that, but I finally got those finished, and then I was like, okay, good, I'm like done for a while. I don't have anything else like that's pressing. I can like work on the 2K subscriber reaction video like when I have time. And then I feel like it was like the next day or like, but either way, the Create with Nabalis contest, I saw that, and I was like, that is such a cool opportunity. It's like I can't pass that up, but also I'm like I can't put like a bunch of time into it. So I was originally not going to make a design, or I was thinking like I don't know if I will, but I was thinking if I was going to make a design, it should be a design that is worth making, not just I want to come up with something just to have a chance at, winning. I wanted to make something that would be worth being made, at least being prototyped, being flipped, something that was unique, something I had not seen before. And so, I'll go. I've done a lot of just doing a lot of planning and thinking about this design. And so, hopefully it's cool. Oh no. Okay, Slap the Sushi. Thanks for joining. We will see you later. Okay, cool. Yeah, you'll have to check out the video after to see the design. But yeah, anyway, so I will keep going. Yes, I will show the design, and real quick, I will try to just keep this a little bit more concise. So I might not answer questions in the chat as much. But anyway, I will show, without any further ado, my design is the leaf is what I am calling it. So this is my Balisong design. This is what I came up with. And there's actually like one really cool feature that I've never seen on a Balisong before, which I'm excited to talk about. But first, I will just say why I called it the leaf, because I think, oh, hello, the buffness. Welcome. Good to see you here. I just unveiled it. But yes, here is the Nabalis. Nope, it's not the Nabalis leaf. Hopefully it will be. Haha. Oh yeah, I should probably start with that. In case you don't know what the Create with Nabalis contest is, I mean, I'm assuming you all do, but I have a link in the description that will take you to the website. Basically, Nabalis, which is the company that makes, among other Balisongs, the Volp, which is on my channel a lot. But it is a contest where you make a design, and then there will be Nabalis themselves. They pick 25 designs that they like. People can vote on them. The top 3 are chosen, and then from those, they can, I think, do some revisions, and then the top 1 out of that will be chosen. So that of the top 3, they will all get, or at least the bottom 2, will get a prototype of their design, but the top 1 gets a full production run for a year that Nabalis will be doing. And so that's why the title says, I designed a Balisong, and you might be able to buy it, but like, I doubt that I will win. But, it's clickbaity. Anyway. So, yes, I will get back to the design. This is the leaf, which is, the reason I called it that mainly is because of the blade shape, which is based off of a leaf sword. I'm just gonna show. This is my inspiration, honestly. I really like the Lord of the Rings. If you can't tell by the Elvish font and the Elvish type style, but also, yeah, I based the blade profile off of Orcrist, the Goblin Cleaver, which is an Elvish sword that Thorin Oakenshield uses in the book The Hobbit, and this is the Peter Jackson rendering of it in the movies. So, yeah, the blade shape is it has kind of like this straight back, although it's a little bit different for flipping. I made it come out a little bit, which hopefully would help with chaplains. But yeah, you can see obviously the design resemblance is there, and then you have this kind of like swirly kind of design. And then the bite handle indicator is obviously not as pronounced, because that would be not possible in a Balisong, and also would destroy you if you, I guess, did a trick with that. But yeah, so it's kind of like, that's kind of the inspiration. So this is like a leaf-shaped blade, which, by the way, side note, in case you're wondering, so this blade shape is not a kukri blade shape. So a kukri blade shape is a leaf-shaped blade where the point is angled down. And so this one kind of looks closer to a kukri, because technically it bows out here on the corner and then it drops back down, but it's basically straight. So I would not consider it a kukri blade, but yeah, so this is my design. I would like to go to the next slide. Let's see, what slide is it? Yes. This is the main thing. I'm just going to actually, So this is the main feature of this. This is a Sandwich design, which means basically it's sandwich, but it looks like it's channel. And there's a speed channel cut out in the Balisong. But it would come with 2 inserts. It would come with an aluminum insert and a G10 insert. So basically what you could do is you would have a speed channeled Balisong, but you could take it apart and you could insert into the speed channel. There's our grooves for it. And so you could insert whether it be G10 or aluminum pieces. So you could essentially have a speed channeled Balisong, but also a regular channeled Balisong. So you can compare and contrast the differences in the same Balisong of what it would be like to have a speed channeled and a non-speed channel version. In addition to that, there's also like the G10, which adds a different amount of grip and a different weight. So yeah. Also, the color customizability would be cool, because you could have different colors, like whether it's G10 or aluminum, you could have different colors for the cutouts. So you could like swap them, or you could have like, you could do even like the bite handle and the safe handle could be different colors, and then they could have like, you could have the bite handle be gold with like a green insert, and then the opposite, so like a gold insert with a green safe handle. But yeah, so that is like the heart and soul of this Balisong design. When I was thinking about what I wanted to make, I was thinking about a couple different things of like, okay, what have I not seen before? What would be cool to try out, to experiment with? And I ultimately came up with the idea of having a Chanwich Balisong with an insert that you can remove. And at first I was thinking, oh yeah, it would just be G10. Then later I realized, why not just also include aluminum? That makes so much more sense, having those options. And so, yeah. So I've done a lot of, like, I don't know almost anything about machining, except that you need to be very precise. But, so I don't know, like, how possible this would be, but I've done a lot of, I'll just skip to this part. I've done a lot of, like, testing and, like, with measuring with pixels, because I don't have calipers or whatnot. So I've tried to, like, in my head, I think this would work. Like, I think it would be strong enough. That's why I chose this design to be 70-75, just in case that would be an issue. I don't know. But yeah, so this is kind of just various angles of the design individually, as you can see. So here's like the Chanwich design. With the handle split, you'd have like a little groove that would fit into a hole there. And then these are, the two holes are right here and right here. So these are, one's closer to the other. So they would not, like, they each have their own hole that they go into. And you can also see there would also be two weight pins. Those are those two holes right there. Oh, hello. I see Moshi just came to the chat. Welcome. But yes. Yeah, so these would be weight pins. So I was thinking, I was thinking, you'd have aluminum weight pins and steel weight pins. So that would allow you to as well, like, customize in case you like the balance with the speed channel with nothing in it, but then maybe adding in the aluminum insert makes it too handle biased. You could remove some weights. And as well, if you think about having, so in each handle having two weights, to either steel or aluminum weights or no weights, and then having in the speed channel either having nothing or having aluminum or G10, that would give you, I think, a total of 18 different, like, configurations, which is also kind of like, as I was thinking of the name, and this is honestly came up like kind of after I had come up with the name, but I was like, oh, it like makes sense. Like, it's called the leaf, and just like how leaves on trees, they fall, they come back, that kind of changes throughout the seasons. This would be a Balisong that can kind of change throughout your seasons of flipping. Cool. Yes. So here next we have the colors. These are just, honestly, it's like hard to come up with colors because there's like so many that look really cool, and also there's a lot that like haven't seen. Like I think it would be cool to do like a copper. I was looking up anodization colors, and it's like you can do so many different colors. But anyway, so here's just 4 colors that I come up with. I really like champagne gold. So there's that one, and this is like a gunmetal gray. And you have forest green. Of course, you can't have a Balisong named the Leaf without having a green color. And then the ice blue, which is a fantastic color. As you know, I like that color. And here's also a second version where, and it's hard to like see the cutouts as much, which is why I have like the 2-tone versions. But I was like thinking about playing around with having the milled lines be milled out before the anodization, so that way it would like all be the same color. And honestly, I think it kind of looks a bit more elegant. So there's that. And of course, you can play around with it. Like, you could have these kind of what I've been calling the vines. You could have those milled out, but like the center channel not, or whatnot. But yeah, anyway, just to kind of talk with like the design of that, I was thinking about like I wanted to make sure that there was enough grip all along the face of the handles. And so I really like, number one, I really like the squid trainer, how it has that very wide, like really similar dimension line down the center. So I wanted to make sure that there was that there. But actually the pattern on the handles my wife actually came up with. I was struggling to like come up with anything that looks cool. So I asked her if she could help me, and she drew this design. She actually drew it first when it was open, like that. And you can see that it kind of, I had the blade cut out, kind of already done. And so she kind of matched that vibe as well. I have Sting, the sword from The Hobbit, which is Bilbo's sword, hanging up on my wall, and it was kind of like inspired by, there's on the handle of Sting, there are like kind of like vines with leaves that wrap around. So that was the kind of like another one of those inspirational moments. Cool, but yeah, I'm just checking the chat. I've been like just talking. But yeah, so yeah, with the cutouts, I wanted to have something that was cool, that looked cool, but also is functional. So that's why like there's a good amount of grip that would be added there, as well as throughout the center, and there's some milling here at the end. So you can see there are weight pins, or there's pivots on both sides of the handle, obviously because it's a Chandwich design. So you need the screws on both ends to keep it in place. And you notice there's no Zen pins because they're hidden Zen pins, which they're located here. But yeah, so hidden Zen pins, which is cool because you won't have them falling out. Also, in case you're curious, here's what my drawings look like. Here's one of the pages. This is actually what I based like these off of, as you can see. But yes, these are my drawings. I was not very good at drawing, so that's why I made this in GIMP, which is basically like Photoshop. Yeah, that's what I did. Basically, like I drew this out, and then turned it into these kind of renderings, so to speak. But yeah, that's basically, and that is the leaf. Cool. So yeah, that is basically what I had. Let me actually, I didn't ever write down any of my specs, which is a big L. Let me actually, you know what I can do? Because I just have this up. This is not going to look pretty. That's okay. Let me just copy and paste them. Let's see how this works. Whoops. Doesn't let me. What? I don't want to copy an image. Sorry, guys. I should have done this beforehand. Okay, it's not letting me. Actually, I don't need to copy and paste the text. What am I thinking? I can just go like that. Perfect. Okay, there we go. So here are like some specifications. Let me just check the chat. Oh, bye Pinky Winky. Thank you for joining the stream. Oh, Cool Pictures asks, wasn't here if you said this already, but what would the price be? That is a great question. I have no idea. I think that's up to Nabalis based on, like for the design that gets picked based on the manufacturing complexity and the materials and whatnot. I have no idea how much this would cost. I would imagine it would be not incredibly cheap. I was originally thinking like it'd be cool if I were to make a design, another one, I would try to make it like more budget friendly, but I would imagine like a Chandwich design like this, 70-75, multiple different like cutout materials for the inserts wouldn't be like incredibly cheap, but it would also be really customizable. So there's that. Grandfather Flipping says the leaf looks like it would have a bit of tip weight. Yes, so that was intentional. I know, like, I feel like tip weight and like end weight is something a lot of people talk about. So I made sure not to keep the cutout. Not go too far in the end. This is actually, I did, so when I made the leaf, because I don't like, I don't have calipers to like measure all of my balisongs and all, and I don't really like, I've never made a balisong. Basically, because I'm very familiar with the Volpe, so I designed a lot of, like, I really liked like the handle size, and so I don't want to make like a design and have it be like way too chunky or like too thin or whatnot. So I started kind of with those dimensions, but I changed, like, I made the length of the handles longer. Obviously, you can see like the jimping, the milling, everything is like different. The blade's different, so it's very different. But that was something I compared it with the Volpe. Like, speaking of having tip weight, I don't have the picture here, but I took pictures of like the Volpe blade, put it next to this blade, and I calculated like the percentage of pixels and the cutout to see how much heavier this blade would be than the Volpe. And it's like 5.3% heavier or something. But then I also calculated, I cut it in half and calculated the top half versus the bottom half, and it has, I think the Volpe is like it's 40% of the weight is on the top half and 60% on the bottom half, but this one was closer to a 50-50 split. So like, because also, yeah. So I was just trying to think, like, basically I was trying to get some kind of metric of, would this blade be okay or would it be like wonky and weird? So that's what, yeah. Someone asks, what balisong should I get? My budget is $70. I'm honestly not the best person to ask just because I haven't flipped that much. But, well, I think the Orion 1.5 is just over 70, but like people have said really good things about that. But the Canyon people is like, what, $50, $40, depending on which type you want. People have said that is really good. I've never flipped either of those. I like the Volpe, but it's not perfect, and there's a lot of people that don't like the Volpe, so yeah. Take that with a grain of salt. Yes, I could see, I feel like, yeah, Fellowship blades, super cool how they are also like Lord of the Rings inspired. But yes, okay, the specs. Yes, so it's Chandler's design, I mentioned that. I forgot to put the length. Whoops, that's awkward. But yeah, I have the handle length, handle thickness, blade length. It's all on here. Yeah, I decided to go with 70. I was like noticing, like, basically everybody is choosing 70-75 aluminum, which I was like kind of leaning towards 60-61 because it is cheaper, and I feel like it's like pretty good enough. But also I was like, just because some of the parts of this balisong might be a little bit thinner than normal, I figured 70-75 would probably make more sense. Also, I love Jade G10, which is like just the undyed G10. And so I think it'd be cool if this like were to exist to have Jade G10 inserts, at least it being one of the colors, because then people could dye it whatever color they want. But yeah, so I'm just trying to see if there's anything. Yeah, I feel like this would be on bushings, of course. And then all the screws are T10 latchless. Yeah, I feel like that was all there really was for the specs. Honestly, I don't think I have much more to say about the Leaf. If anyone has any questions about the Leaf, just drop them in the chat. Excuse me. Cool Pictures says, I missed a bunch, but what's customizable about it? Yes, so what is customizable is, like, the heart and soul of this design is the feature that it's Sandwich and has a speed channel, but it would have these aluminum and G10 inserts, and so it's a speed channeled balisong, but you could also have a fully channeled balisong, and you can also have a balisong that's channeled but has like G10 inlays, so to speak, on the side. In addition to that, there are 2 weight pins on each handle, so you can adjust the weight as well. And so there's 18 total configurations to the Balisong. Cool. But yeah, anyone else has any other questions? Or if not, I have not been looking at the chat very much. So if I've missed anything, sorry about that. But I'm looking back through it now. Someone says, if it's a real Balisong, I will buy it if it comes out. Thank you. I would also buy it. But I mean, I made it, so it's kind of biased. That is a great question. Do you know how heavy it will be with all of the weights in? I do not, because I just made this in basically Photoshop, GIMP. I do not have I've 3D modeled something once. Like, I know those softwares you can input all of the materials and whatnot, and spit out the weight. So I do not know the weight. Honestly, I feel like, because I'm just the dimensions are similar to the Vulp. It's a little bit longer. It would be heavier than the Vulp, but I don't think it would be heavier by much. I mean, you'd have the steel weight pins. I would imagine to be a little bit heavier than the Volt Pro as well. Oh yeah, the Canyon is out of stock. Yeah, I think it's coming back into stock. It might be in a month or something. I'm not really sure. Yes, what do you think about an Armshark Cracker and V3 clone? I've never flipped any Kraken clone, so I can't speak to that. Personally, yeah, I mean, I think it's nice to not flip a clone, but any thoughts of a live blade version? Good question. So the contest was not doing any false live blades or whatnot. So I didn't really think about that. If I was making this myself, I would try it, which, this is a side note, there are maker spaces where you can go and use CNC machine tools and stuff. It would be insanely cool to actually make this, but then I'd also have to actually 3D model it and then do that and go there and make it. But it'd be really cool to actually make this design. But yeah, I would definitely make, I like how knives look, so it would be cool to make a live blade or false live blade version. But yeah, I mean, if Nabalis does end up making this, there wouldn't be a false live, because I don't think they're doing that. I'm curious, have any of you that are in the chat, have you guys made any designs, or did you think about making design for the contest? Okay, everybody. Oh, I guess, yeah, the delay on my end. Everybody responded at the same time. Yeah, unfortunately not. Oh, you have one but didn't submit it. Oh, man. Or do you have cool pictures? Do you have a Discord or Instagram? You can send me pictures if you want me to see it. That'd be cool to see your design. Yeah, I feel that, yeah. Oh, wow, 2 people made designs but didn't submit them. Well, was there any reason why? I'm curious. Yes, grandfather flipping, it was incredibly overwhelming. I feel like coming up with like the initial like concept was fun, and like drawing things out, but then there's like it's definitely I feel like there was like ups and downs of like, oh, this is like super like fun, and to like also like, oh man, this is like really tedious and difficult. What made it difficult, even more difficult, is like I'm using like basically Photoshop, using GIMP to do this. So I'm creating each image like as a standalone image. It's not like I'm using a modeling software or even like Illustrator where you can change things and like move them in 3D space and whatnot. Like, so if I like, let's see, if I decide I'm making this and I decide, oh, I want to move this end pin a little bit, then I need to move all of them on like all the different various pictures. And yeah, and constantly, like I would be constantly zooming in and then like measuring the pixels and then dividing by 16.5, which is the number of pixels that equaled 1 millimeter, and calculated. Yeah, it was very overwhelming. Robert asks, any info on the video from like 2 months ago where people submitted their flipping clips to you? Yes. So I have recorded that, and I've been busy between this and the Squid Industries projects, and so I have not been able to finish it. It's also, I ran into some issues. So I'm currently using OBS. I downloaded it for that clip reaction video, and I recorded it. Well, I tested it. I was like, okay, I think things are working. I recorded it, but then I realized like I was recording the audio of my computer, even though the audio is off. So a lot of the clips, or all the clips, the video audio is like way too loud, and so a lot of the times like my reactions are, you can't really hear them, and there's like music and stuff. So it's got a bit of work to do, but that is hopefully the next one of the next things I will be working on. I'll send it. My Discord username is Benjamin Flips. Yeah, you can send it. I just sent my Discord username, so you can just send it to there. I think you have to friend me first. Will I be having more live streams in the future? That is a great question. I would be open to doing that. It was actually, it was really fun. I mean, this live stream is really fun. Yesterday I did like a test live stream. I don't really know what I was doing, so I was trying to do the live stream unlisted so I could just listen back on my phone and like figure things out. But I couldn't even find like the unlisted link, so I ended up just going live. But I ended up just like streaming for like an hour and 20 minutes and hang out with some people. Some of you guys that were here today were there yesterday, but yeah, it was really fun. So, and I mentioned yesterday, which that stream is not up, it's unlisted. This stream will be up afterwards. But I mentioned there's a lot of things, a lot of topics that I thought about like making videos on, but like they'd be kind of like, I feel like best just to be kind of just like, a lot of people do like just a flipping while they're talking video. That's like what makes sense with that format. But I'm really bad at talking while doing anything else, and I'm not very good at like flipping while talking because that's doing two things at once. Anyway, it could be cool to like do live streams more regularly, right? Kind of hang out and like maybe talk about a topic and just ask questions and whatnot. Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate the how in depth my design is. The Buffness says, yeah, it looks like the Squid Trainer jimping. Yes. So I like kind of base the jimping half on the Squid Trainer and half on the Vulp. And it's like kind of like a mix between their dimensions. But yeah. Yes, a ton of time was put into this for sure. So it was fun. I don't think I don't know if I have a yeah, a chance at I don't think I don't think I don't have a chance at winning, but you know, it's not about it's about the journey and the friends you make along the way, you know what I mean? Speaking of which, I just accepted the Discord friend request. But yeah, so hello Fuji, welcome Fuji, good to see you here. I'm glad you're enjoying the buffness. Would love to see you try more stuff. Yeah. Okay, first of all, I have like so many ideas for Balisong videos that are like so different. I mean, if you look back on my channel, like I've been doing a lot of tutorials, but if you look back, did some weird videos like the Chat GPT video. That's very different. But yeah, that one didn't do as well, but I enjoyed it and it was fun. And I have ideas for a lot of different things. Now, news updates, I feel like I'm not the person for that because I tend to get my Balisong news from the people that do that, like Ethan, played by Camaro EE. But I'm like not up and up with all the Balisong things. Oh, thank you, Robert. He said, "Don't worry, you'll get my vote." Thank you. That means so much. That was something else I wanted to mention. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, you should, if you want to, you should go vote, but don't just like vote for my design. Vote for whatever design you think is like actually like cool and would be fun to flip and whatnot. Because yeah, that's something I like about this contest is like Nabalis is saying that, like, because that was in the Q&As, one of the things that was like mentioned is like, oh, we don't want just like famous flippers just to win, but it's nice that they're screening the top 25. So hopefully, like, because like it's not a bad thing if a famous flipper wins, if they have a good design. So if Nabalis is doing the first screening, it should be good. Hello, Camaro E. Welcome, Ethan. Oh, wait, you can vote now? No, you cannot vote now. So, okay, so that's also why I did the stream today. Well, one, I finished the design last night, and the deadline was last night. It was extended. But two, the voting period is not yet started. So that will start on the 7th. So that's when people can go and vote. I should probably just be like cycling through these images more. Here is my Balisong design. But yeah, so this is a really fun opportunity to get to make this design. And honestly, I'm really appreciative because I've been wanting to do like some kind of like live stream for like maybe one of my milestones, or it'd be a fun thing to do. But I was like, I don't really know how or like what to do because I don't really know a good way to connect my camera. But yeah, this Create with Nabalis contest is a cool opportunity to live stream my design. So that's fun. Thank you. I'm glad you like how it looks, Ethan. Yeah, I'm curious what you designed, but I guess we'll have to see if it makes it to the top 25 if we get to see it. Yeah, I'm like, I'll probably like post these pictures as well to my Instagram and like do the whole hashtag so other people can see it. I just wanted to be able to show it off on my channel first. Do you have any flipping style you prefer? This is also, I feel like I'm like assuming that people are asking me questions, but they probably are if they're not addressing somebody else. Anyway, flipping style I prefer. Honestly, I don't really know. I guess I like just coming up, like being creative and just coming up with weird alternate thinking ways. I'm not making sense. Coming up with my own like weird tricks and stuff and just incorporating that into a fun style. Basically, I like to come up with my own style, I guess. Thank you, Ethan. Like the straight back kukri-esque blade. Yeah, so that was something that, so when I saw Denden's review of the Nabalis wing, I put a comment because I was like, oh, I'm surprised you didn't like mention that it's like a kukri design. But then he pointed out, which I didn't even realize this, but like a kukri, like the tip is pointing down, and so yeah, that's why like this is called the leaf, is because, which I have the picture here, but a leaf-shaped blade is like a blade that basically it's thinner at the bottom, but then like, it goes out and it's wider. So yeah, it's like basically a straight back kukri is what the orcrist is, and that's what this is based off of. But it's like, I guess the analogy, all kukris are leaf-shaped blades, but not all leaf-shaped blades are kukris. That's the same thing as like all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares. I feel like this color combo looks kind of weird as a picture, but like I feel like the teal and gold could look kind of cool. Green and gold though would look pretty fire. Pretty fire. But yeah. Yes, thank you, grandfather flipping. I feel like, yeah, simple was kind of what I was going for, which, especially seeing all these on the same page, it looks kind of overwhelming, which is why I kind of like the way, like, if it was not two-toned, it might look better, but I was trying to not overcomplicate things, I say, and then I have this this monstrosity. Just kidding. It took me a long time. Yeah, except for the fact that it's Chanwich, yes. I feel like that's the most complicated one. Yes, Ethan, I appreciate that very much. Cohesive design languages. That is something that like I am a nerd about a lot of things. Like I like watching graphic design videos and different things, and like so that's something I picked up on, like when you're designing, not having like contrasting shapes, or like having really angular things like against a slope. Like I was trying to, like, here's the blade, it follows this line. I was trying to mimic that with the cutout, so it kind of like flows. And then also, which also once again, shout out to my wife. She was the one that came up with the handle design, or like the what I've been calling the vines, this lighter gray. And I really like how like this loop really mimics the one in the blade. And so I was trying to come up with something that looked cohesive. Is the design of the blade supposed to be a breeze? That is a great question. So I had, which, okay, my like other files are a mess, but I have some other, let's see if I can, I don't want to mess it up. If I try and open, I'm not going to worry about it. Anyway, I had messed around with a lot of different hand or hole designs. And like some of them, there was one that I thought like kind of cool, but it looked more like flames. And like with the leaf design, I was already kind of thinking, I wasn't totally sure on like the name or whatnot, but I was trying to think of like more like something more like elvish, you know, and like naturey. And the flames just didn't make any sense. And so I was trying to go with something that was different, or like that didn't look like fire. But so I was messing around, and I came up with this because it kind of, yeah, has that like flowy style. And so it does look like kind of like wind, which I feel like also works with like leaves. But I'm looking at the chat, and people are saying, wife, what? Yeah, I have a wife, and I have 2 kids. So, yeah. So, yeah. There's that. But it's okay. All my life, everybody thinks I'm a lot younger than I am. So I'm used to it. Yeah, I'm just reading the chat and how everybody's. I just casually mentioned that, but you know, I feel like people wouldn't be surprised because, like, in my my left hand isn't in my videos as much, but because like my wedding ring is in my videos, so I figured that wasn't I wouldn't be surprised, but. No, you're good. You're good. How did I think you were 14? I thought you were 16, 17-ish. Oh, that's funny. See, okay, so this is funny. This is random. Like I said, all my life, like growing up, everybody has thought they've always assumed I was younger than I was. Like one time I was at a friend's birthday party, and I got in the car and drove away, and like it was like all, like I only knew the person whose birthday it was. Everybody else I didn't, like I had met them for the first time. But literally their jaws dropped when they saw me drive away, because I mean, I think I was like 16 at the time, but they thought like, how is he driving? But it's funny because now, like I mentioned, like I'm married, I have 2 kids. Now I feel like people are starting, like when I meet people in real life, they assume that I'm closer to my age. And so it's funny, yeah, that people think I'm younger. It's probably because my voice cracks a lot. Just kidding. I think I missed a question earlier. Are there any knives you want to buy or try? Robert says earlier. Yes, like all of them. No, try all of them. I don't want to buy all of them. I would love to go to Blade Show, because I would love to try a lot of Balisongs. Obviously, like there's so many, I could list so many, but like the ones that come to mind, mainly the ones that I could see myself potentially buying if I were to try, but like the Crackerakin, because everybody says it's really good and like standard, I guess. The Orion 1V 1.5, the Nabalis Canyon looks really cool. Would be a cool beater. Probably the Trainer acid wash version. Yeah, those are some that come up. Oh, and it would also be cool to try a Tsunami, but I don't think I would ever get to buy one. We got the lore dump. True. When are you going to do a face reveal? Good question. Honestly, I feel like I would like to do a face reveal just because it would make making thumbnails easier, and like I could do other formats and stuff. But I'm also like, I don't want to show my face because then you can't go back, and not that there's anything that I need to go back from, but it's just like one of those things that once you do it, you're just, the decision's made. But also, like, I would really like to go to a Blade show, and if that were to happen, then I would do a face reveal because I would like to meet anybody of like all of you if you're there. So if you win, you should go to Blade show as a reward. That is a great I like that thinking. I like that. I should tell my wife that if that happens, that could be like I gotta do it. That was actually speaking of which, that was something that I had when I first made my YouTube channel and I posted shorts. I posted 4 shorts before I posted any videos or any like regular videos. But I had posted, so I posted like the one about like a Lego Technic Balisong, and like the shorts, and you post them a lot of times, like they have like a huge spike of views, and that was very new to me. But I posted that one and then another one, and then I posted what is my most popular short, which is where I do like the standard open, but then it goes into ice pick. But anyway, I posted one after that, and I told my wife, I said, if that short gets to 10,000 views, I was like, I'm gonna get the fork or like spoon Balisong, because I just thought it'd be funny and to like make a funny video with it. And that short is sitting at 3,000 views, and the one before it has 72,000. So, I guess I just didn't get lucky with that. That was random. How tall am I? Good question. I am 5'9" and something, I think. Height reveal. Oh, I should have hyped that up. 4,000 subscribers. Just kidding. Oh, Cool Picture says, oh, if you get the top 3, then I should go to Blade Show. That's actually, I feel like if I were to get in the second or third, that would be a better reason to go to Blade Show, because then I would actually have something unique to bring. The prototype, which, by the way, would be insanely cool to have a prototype to flip, but also I would be so like scared to flip it because it's a 1 of 1. I mean, save queen for sure. Yeah, I would not want to bring my kids to Blade Show for sure. Oh yes, let me. Yes, exactly, Ethan. I feel like second or third place would be almost a better reason to go to Blade Show. I'll definitely have to run that by her. I'm checking out your design now. Let me see. Oh yeah, I see. Because you mentioned it was ahi, which is Hawaiian for fire. Very nice. Got little flames in the cutouts. Very cool. I like the handle pattern. I just want to go to Blade Show, period. Yeah, I get that. I would really like to go. It would be super cool for like so many reasons. So, yeah. Honestly, I don't even know how much it is to go. Like, I remember looking up on the website and they didn't have the tickets listed. Though I would imagine that like just like the hotel and whatnot and like food and stuff would be more expensive than like the tickets themselves. And also buying Balisongs if you do that. Which one, Atlanta or West? Atlanta. Getting third is my first place in this competition. Yeah, I feel that. You get, yeah. but I don't think I'm making it seeing some other designs. Yeah, it's I've done so. Once again, tickets are like $30. Okay, yes, okay, yeah. So the ticket themselves is not that bad. Yeah. Ethan said that he's like, I don't think I'm making it seeing some of these other designs. Speaking about that, I'm like, so I have done. I mean, well, I think 4. I've done 4. I've participated in 4 various things like music competitions. If you don't know, I have a separate music channel, which is just like my original music that I post. I'm not like talking or stuff. But I've done 4 music competitions, and I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, I'll like make something, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like maybe I have a chance. And then I see like, or not see it, listen to other people's submissions, and then I'm like, oh my goodness, some of these people like within 2 days, like I would work for weeks on mine, and like within 2 days they come up with like the most like crazy produced song that you're like, how did you do that? But yeah, and then the people that win, it's like, oh, I didn't listen to that one, but that wasn't crazy. But yeah, I'm like, with the Nabalis said, I think they got like hundreds of designs, so I'm not feeling like my chances are very good, but it was a fun thing to do, and I get to just hang out with you guys and talk about it, so that's really fun. Side note, you got such smooth lines for designing this in GIMP. I also did mine in GIMP, and it was difficult to make it look presentable. Thank you. Yes. I'm curious, what was your pixel size? So this one is 2160 by 2160, but like my original file that I did it all in was like 4,000 pixels, 4,000 something by 3,000 something. And so I feel like I was able to like zoom in, and I mean, there was so much of like this where I'm like zooming in and then using the circle to meticulously make sure the pivots are the right size, make sure it's exactly the right, like a perfect perfect square with a circle inside it. But I think that's, yeah. Good night, Skull Flipper. Thank you for stopping by. Have fun. Good luck mirror polishing your Volp, and also with your homework. Okay, 2160 by 1440. Yeah. I do think that perhaps, like, because this one is, 2160 by, is a square. But, yeah, I think that would definitely, I think having more pixels would help because, yeah, the pixels are squares. So, I need more water. Let's hope that it makes it through the initial screening. But yeah, so I enjoy using GIMP. I was like, I had downloaded Fusion 360 when I like first started this. I was like, yeah, let's do that. I 3D modeled something once in college, and it was fun and a painful process, and it took forever. It was in AutoCAD. But I'm like, I don't know why I even thought of trying to do this in 3D. I was like, I'm just going to use GIMP because I'm comfortable with it. Because, but yeah, I don't know if you were here for, basically, like, my whole process, like, how I did this, I drew sketches, which, like, I literally held up, like, Balisongs. You can see I, like, held up some Balisongs to it and, like, traced it. You can see the Volps jimping when I was, like, because I just want to get the right, like, handle size-ish. But as you can see, these are really bad. I'm not good at drawing. It's super uneven. But then what I did was I just made sure to, like, when I copied it, I made a curve or like a circle that would fit it approximately. And so, yeah, so like you have that mathematically precise touch behind it. So that would be my recommendation. And that was something is too, like with this contest, I definitely tried to like make it possibly have a chance. I feel like a lot of times when I do like these competitions, like I'm just gonna do something that's like the music ones I mentioned. I'm just gonna do something that I like. So like I have something cool at the end of it. which is true. But I'm like also like, I guess I feel like the way that things go, it's like I think the people that have good looking 3D models have a better chance at winning because like especially like with I think Nabalis might like really think through things more, but like I think when people vote, I mean if you see a drawing like a sketch of a really cool idea, but like the proportions are just like slightly off because it's hand drawn or whatnot, versus like a 3D model thing with like cool shading and all of this, it's just gonna like feel more real and look cooler. And so I was like, I was originally just gonna do a drawing, but I was like, my drawings are so bad, I gotta do a kind of rendering. Yeah, 3D modeling was not happening in a month. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, multiple pages of iteration. Yeah, I should pull up. I have so many. Oh my goodness, so many things. I wonder if I open. I think. Hmm, I'm not sure if I don't want to mess up the stream. I have so many. I had like folders, so many group folders. It was like loading so slow. If I would save it, it would take like a minute just to save. Welcome back, Slap the Sushi. It is a leaf design. Yeah, with like the names, I'm thankful at least the way that they're doing it. Nabalis is screening the top 25 first because, like I said this earlier, like I have no problem if somebody that's like really famous or whatnot like makes a design and they win if it's a good design. And I feel like if Nabalis is picking the top 25 designs, it's because they think those are good designs. Which I mean, like that's what they said on Instagram that's like they're gonna try and be unbiased, and so hopefully if like that's the case, then yeah. Which obviously like yeah. So you mentioned people with a following and a background in design. Like I think having a background in design would help because oh, bye Robert, thanks for stopping by. But yeah, so having a background in design helps with a design competition because it's helpful. But yeah, it's also like I hope that honestly I hope that this is pretty biased because that's how I based my design on. But like I hope that a design wins that has like some kind of cool feature or experimental feature. I mean that's like kind of what the create Nabalis like on the website, what it's kind of talking like. That's kind of like the they're saying for people to create and like be experimental. So yeah, I guess like having some kind of cool feature or function over just like, oh, this is like a really solid looking design. But obviously like looks are super important too. So you probably already answered this, but are you planning for this to, or how are you planning for this to flip? That is a good question. Are you talking about like the weight or whatnot? Okay, honestly, I guess how if I were to, like I mentioned this earlier, so I am very comfortable with the Vulp, and that's what like I kind of, because I had to base it off of something because I don't like, for example, like my BB Firefly handles are like really chunky and I don't like them. So like if I just like make something and I just like make it in GIMP, I don't want to end up coming up with something where it's like it's really wonky. So I'm like I just started with the Vulp, then I kind of just adjusted it in different ways, and like I made the handles a little bit longer, and I obviously like the blade is different, and I adjusted the jimping, and I moved the kind of similar to like what Will Hirsch mentioned for the Volt Pro. Like I moved the pivots a little closer, hopefully to help with the chaplains, and my blade design also, which it's kind of hard to see in this, but if you were to draw a line, kind of like a straight line, you can see how it bows out. Well, it bows out here and then comes back in as being completely a straight back design. And that's because I think, like, from what I've heard, like, having a blade that kind of goes out can help with chaplains. So, yeah, because, like, I feel like a lot of my Balisongs that I own don't chaplain amazingly well. So it's something that if I was going to design one, I'd want it to chaplain well. So hopefully that helps. And of course, it would be a nice rounded spine because comfortable. Michael says, I brought a Balisong to school and got arrested. Yikes. Sounds pretty nasty. Ethan says, I should have vetted my dimensions a little more. I made a box around the dimensions of a certain similar Balisong, but I never really did specific parts of it, so there's a good chance it's a bit wonky. Yeah, I feel like I spent half the time overthinking all of the dimensions. And then that's where I'm like, because like I feel like whoever wins Nabalis is going to kind of like, this isn't even a 3D model, so it would be like they're gonna have to 3D model this. Like if somebody wanted to make it, they'd have to 3D model it, and so there's really not that much of a point to me obsessing over how many millimeters away the pivots are and all this type of thing. But I don't know, I guess it was more of just like I want this to be a good design, so I'm going to do my best. But yeah, I guess like I think the larger parts of the design are more important than like the finer details, because I would imagine that they would adjust it. Yeah. Good night, Michael. Thanks for stopping by. Yes, for sure, Ethan. Will only ever submit, like, I remember him talking about his I mean, I don't know what else he submitted, but I think he just did the illustrate. I'm like I'm all out of water. I will be right back. Okay, sorry about that. But yes, yeah, that's why I was like, yes. Regardless of, like, towards the end, I mean, I'm just tend to be this way when I like work on things. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just not think too much about the details, and then I get into it. I'm like, no, I must get every detail perfect. But yeah, towards the end, I was like, okay, I really need to. It's not that big of a deal. I just need to like get the idea on, because they just need a drawing. And I guess as well, Ethan, like with like getting the point across, that's where I'm like, with this, because it's a competition, like I think we those of us, we flip Balisongs a lot. We look at them a lot. It's kind of like, if you just look at something and it looks proportionally right, you're going to be more likely to vote for that versus something that just feels a bit off. Like, there's no way anybody would want to vote for that. I mean, no offense, but they might. I mean, I think if the design is cool enough, but like the concept is cool enough, I'm not saying that people who just draw like don't have a chance. I think they do. But I think it's like the classic phrase, like, don't judge a book by its cover. But like, you walk into a library and all of the books have a lot of thought and effort put into the cover art, because regardless of how we'd like to say that we're all unbiased and don't judge books by their covers, that's the whole point of a book cover, is so that people can look at it and then make a judgment. So that's why it's like the unfortunate side of things. Like, but yeah, so. Yeah, I don't think that this will necessarily be like, I don't think it'll be at all like a Volt Pro alternative. Just because I feel like it's different. I mean, it's also like hard because if this were to exist, I mean, I know there is, like, Nabalis on their website says that there's times for people to like adjust their designs and whatnot. But like if you watch like Will's videos, he has so many different prototypes of like the Volt and the Volt Pro. So it's like actually flipping something and being able to get like tactile feedback and actually flipping it and then adjusting it. It's like you're going to be able to get a much more refined product than like designing something and then on paper and then just having it made. So that's why as well I'm like I want the concept of this to be hopefully cool enough to where even if it doesn't flip the best, it's at least cool and looks cool. Slap the Sushi asks, are you thinking of this being a cheaper Balisong? Janine says, cool design. Thank you. Are you thinking of this being a cheaper Balisong? I honestly don't. It's Chandwich, so I would imagine it's not super cheap. And a 7075, which I was thinking about doing 6061, but I figured just like because there's like some thinner parts and whatnot, I figured it's probably better just to go for more like durable thing. But I have no idea how it would be priced, honestly. Oh yeah, the design reminded you of the Nabalis Lightning. Honestly, I thought, I was like, oh, it'd be so cool to do like a lightning bolt here, but the Nabalis Lightning is already a thing, so. There would definitely be a prototype phase after the winner is decided. Yeah, that would, okay, yeah, that would make sense, honestly. I would imagine, yes, I see what you're saying. Like, after the number one winner is decided, there would be prototyping and whatnot. That is true. And I'm wondering if that would happen with the designer or if Nabalis would be the one to like prototype it and then just like send one of the prototypes to them. I don't know. The Leaf looks like tip weight city and I'm here for it. Honestly, Ethan, I feel like I've based a lot of my design from like what, because I watched so many of your videos talking about breaking down so many different Balisongs and what you like and whatnot, because you flipped so many more than I have. So yeah, that's definitely influenced my design for sure. Especially like you look at, I was looking at other people's designs and like so many of them, or like not so many, but like there's so many. It's not uncommon people make a design and be like, oh, that doesn't look like it has very much tip weight, and so I'm like, mine's gonna have tip weight. Which I did I don't know if you're here for this, but I did a whole calculation of like what percentage of the blade of like the top half versus like the bottom half, how that's distributed compared to the Volt blade. And so yeah, it definitely has more tip weight, but I don't think it will have too much. But yeah, that's why also like I wanted to. Well, I mean, obviously it's Chandwich, so it needed the hardware on the ends, but having that and like the weights and whatnot, so hopefully it'll have a good balance. I'm talking as if it's gonna exist, but it probably won't, which is sad. And yeah, I just have to be. What does MJ say in Spider-Man? Expect disappointment, and you'll never be disappointed, or something, which is pretty dark. But I feel like for these types of contests is a good outlook to have. Yes, the screws on the end would act like a weight. That's for sure. Yeah, like that is, yeah, like I said, that's something that I wanted to or like would definitely include even if this wasn't Chandwich. Because like yeah, the Squid Trainer has steel weight pins. I like the momentum that gives. Yeah, and that's why like I'm not designing this in a CAD software, so I can't they could do all like the measurements. Wow, my voice is getting really scratchy. I'm sorry about that. I might have to end this soon just because my voice. But yes, I don't really know how the balance and everything would end up being, but I was trying to base it off of what I think would make sense. So do you think they will do create with Nabalis as like a weekly thing or something? I don't know. I don't know what weekly means or if that was a typo. I don't think he meant weekly because that would be too much. I just Googled Wheatley in case I just don't know what that means, and it showed up as a Portal 2 character, so I'm assuming that was a typo. Also, wow, how do people stream for so long? I'm like, my voice is it is dry and hard to talk. Oh, yearly. I can't. I feel like I read something where like it seemed like it could be something they do more often. I don't know. I mean, I could definitely see depending how this goes that they do this. I mean, I feel like it's just such a great way to generate hype and like get people excited about buying a design. And so, plus it's like I would imagine less work on Nabali's end, but probably not because sifting through the designs is a lot of work. So forget I said that, but I don't know. Yeah, yeah. This, yes, managing this would be very difficult, and then also like making the designs. That was something like some of the designs I'm like, which not to throw shade. Some of them like that'd be really hard to like exist or like work. Um, but obviously, I think the ones that would win would be ones that would make sense to work. Yes, I'm also very curious about how this would flip. And this is something I mentioned earlier, but like I was looking up creator spaces where like you can um go and like use CNC machines and different things. Like they exist, so it's like I could make this a reality. You know, if I could actually 3D model it and use a CNC and all of that, which I can't, so probably won't happen. Yeah, some of the come here, Ethan says I genuinely don't think Nabalis has the capability to make some of the ones submitted. I don't think. I feel like a lot of some of them, some of the ones that were submitted were like, did you guys read the assignment? Like, I mean, so many people submitted false live blades, which like were explicitly not allowed, or live blades, which I think some people probably like already had designs, so they just like submitted those. But plus, like some of the designs that were like extremely intricate and also had sharp corners, which Navali said like you should not have in your designs. Grandfather Hoping says this might have benefited more if it was a regular channel for the weight distribution. See, but that's the thing, is that it's Chanwich, but if you notice, basically all the material that would be removed in the speed channel, and there'd be extra material, a little bit extra on either side, would be replaced by the aluminum insert. So, like, theoretically, it would be the same. Like, if it worked, it would be the exact same as a channel Balisong, theoretically. Also, outer weighted Balisongs, I hear, are pretty good, like Ethan says, but I honestly don't really know that myself. I think it might be like Lego Ideas where Nabalis would have to consider many things. Yes, yes, slap the sushi. That is correct. If you guys know the Lego does Lego ideas, and so people can submit their own mocks, my own creations. Is what that stands for. But they can submit their own Lego creations, and if it hits, I think, 10,000 votes, then they will get turned into a set. But often, if you look at the sets, they get pretty drastically changed. But like in ways that it has to be like fit to Lego standards, and that would be at a good price and not use illegal techniques. And so I think, yeah, that was probably how some of these designs could, if they were to win, like they would be changed and would look different, but like the core like concept would be there. I feel like almost similar if you think about like concept cars and how those are like really crazy, but then like regular cars don't look that crazy. Yeah, I said minus sharp corners because I couldn't get enough rounded corners, so I just made a note at the bottom. Yeah, honestly, I feel like Nabalis will like understand. I actually originally had this cutout. It looked cooler. It was like a lot more sharp, but then I measured it, and so I made it so it was only 2 millimeters wide, like it said, so that way it would actually like comply. But I feel like that type of thing, Nabalis would just like know, and it would just get adjusted. But that was something as well. I was like really rushed on submitting this, and I really wanted to do a better job, honestly, with the presentation. And like, I totally forgot to do a put like a legend for the scale because everything was to scale and all of that. And I also, yeah, kind of forgot some information in the email, and I wanted to like finish writing out my like design story and all of that, but I didn't do a good job. So I feel like, yeah, we'll see what happens. Yes, the inserts. Yes, that's the core of the idea. So hopefully that'd be cool. Honestly, like I think it would be super cool to see something like this exist. I'm just curious if it would work well. And Zippy could make inserts. Yes, that is true. Yeah, it was funny enough because, like I said, that's the whole like core idea of this Balisong is the inserts. When I originally thought of this idea, because I was thinking through different things, I was like, oh, a sandwich design, and then you could have G10 inserts for the speed channel. And then like it was like a week later, and I was like, wait a second, why would you just have the G10? You could also just have aluminum inserts. And so thankfully, I thought of that because that would have been really a big oversight. Because that was something as well. I was like, well, having a G10 insert, like yes, G10 is different than like 3D printed plastic, but it's like not that different than having just like a zippy insert. But you can't really do a aluminum insert that you just push in, so that's unique. Oh, I'm stupid. Meaning my own creations. I never realized that. No, yeah, I understand. I feel like terms get thrown around all the time in different hobbies, and it's confusing sometimes when people don't say them what they mean, which, spoiler alert, is a video idea that I have that I'm hoping to make for my channel. Not about Legos, though, about Balisongs. I recently used to like Lego more, but they fell off for me. Yeah, I really like Lego, and I still like it. I just don't get to play with it as much. But yeah, I've been like, if my first video was a Lego Technic Balisong. I've been thinking it would be a fun video to make just various Lego Balisongs and see what I could do. We'll see. Slapsushi says, I haven't actually looked at any of the other submissions. Do you have any in mind I should check out? Oh, welcome back, Moshi, but only for like 2 minutes. Yeah, you could. I don't know. I feel like, I mean, that was something that somebody had suggested of like looking through Balisongs that they have posted, and I'm like, I don't want to roast anybody, but we could look through some if you want to. I could just kind of scroll through. Yes, there are very many Lego Balisongs on YouTube. That's actually how I started. I saw Lego Balisongs. I mean, this is probably like at least a decade ago, and I made one, and that's how I started. Like that was what I flipped for. Like I learned very basic tricks on it, and then took like a super long break, and then I would take it out every so often, and then that's why like when I saw Will Hirsch's channel, I was like, oh, this is actually really cool. Like people just flip these like a lot, and so yeah, that's how I got into it. But yeah, I've come across a lot of people in comments saying that they started off on a Lego Balisong, which is pretty cool. I just realized they should make the fidget mech a more mainstream thing. It seems like a pretty niche thing, but it could be mainstream, I guess. How about no? Savage. Okay, I'm just being silent. Whoops. Slap the Sushi. You also started on Lego Bally. Okay, very cool. Yeah, same. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are like do start on like some type of homemade thing, which kind of makes sense just because like various whether it's like if you're a child and you're not gonna like buy one or like the legality of different things and the accessibility of making something at home. Thank you, Grandfather Flipping. You say that the leaf plays on a lot of cool concepts you've never seen before. So yes, that was my goal. So hopefully, fingers crossed. Hopefully, Nabalis think so as well. Should I like should I look through the other submissions or should I just not? Are you gonna put weights in the leaf? Yes. So there would be weights. So apart from the aluminum or G10 insert, there are these two pins right here are weight pins, or they're holes right now for weight pins. So I just put like steel weights, aluminum weights. I was thinking aluminum, that way it would be like the same as if there were no weights, it was just material, and steel for something that's heavier. But yeah, so there's two in each handle. So the two weights of two different materials and two different channel inserts, and also you could have none in all of them. So that'd be 18 different configurations and 3 different grip configurations. Do you know how to do the giraffe? Yes, I do. Am I good at it? Not yet. The scissor is something I've been working on a lot, and the giraffe, like the transition. And I've been, as I always do, because I spend a lot of my flipping time just messing around with things that are difficult and stuff that I'm not, and I just feel like it does slow down my progress. But like for example, I can't do the giraffe very consistently, but I've been working on doing the giraffe into an infinity ladder before going into the chaplain, because that makes sense, but it's pretty cool, so you should try it. I just want a cool public flipper in Cali. True. Do you have like a squiddy or something? Yeah, I appreciate that. Slap the Sushi. I feel like there's also something like with this Balisong. I've never flipped anything with a speed channel, and so I don't know how I would like it. But it's also like which is actually very fitting because Ethan on Blade Bias, he came out with his like speed channel video as I was like making this design. And it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, like would I like it? But like, would I like it? Like, would the ring be annoying, or like, would the balance feel weird or whatnot? And so that's why I was like, oh, it would be super cool to like, just like the Nabalis marbles, where the whole concept is like, if you don't know what weight profile you like, here, try this one. You can same Balisong, but like many different weight profiles. It's like with this one, you can see if you'd like the speed channel or not. Which obviously just because you like, okay, bye Moshi. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, just because you like one Balisong with this speed channels doesn't mean you like all speed channels, of course. But yeah. I contemplated getting a Squiddy, but rather save the money for the Orion 1.5. Yeah. I feel you there. I would like to get an Orion 1.5. You didn't like how they flipped it all. No, yeah, I understand. I feel like the Squiddy, it's like, I thought about making a review at some point about it, but it's very different than flipping like a metal Balisong. And it's got some things that I really like about it, but usually when I'm like, oh, I really just want to flip, I want to flip a metal Balisong. But it's like for those times where it's like, I want to flip something that's much quieter or lighter or won't be as loud if I drop it, then it's like, I'm really glad that I have the Squiddy. This is a random question, because I don't live stream very much. Is it a good thing that I'm repeating what you guys are saying sometimes, or should I not repeat it because you can see the chat? Also, I will probably have to end the stream here pretty soon. Just a heads up. So if you have any last questions, now's the time. Skull Flipper says, just landed my second double scissor ever. Congratulations. Double scissors are really fun when you get them. Oh, the message was retracted. Oops. Maybe I shouldn't have read that. It's appreciated when you repeat them, but if they're long, you can mutter them. I think I might have been doing that anyway. Oh, okay. There should be a line of products where there is interchangeable customizability that would work with each other. That is a fantastic idea. It is such a good idea. I think that's like the whole thing behind the Machine-Wise lineup, I think. But yeah, you know, with all of the funny names that are produced. But yeah, like you can use all of the, or anything on like what the Marin platform. It's like you can, which is like so many of the products, you can interchange them, which is cool. Which is like, I feel like it is an upside, but it's also like a downside of like, oh, it's like all the same trainer blade, which I've never really been a fan of the Machine-Wise trainer blade, which is like why I've like maybe not wanted to buy like a Prisma or Prisma Pro. But I also like, I feel like the more you look at designs, the more you get like okay with them. And so I'm like, I'm definitely at the point where I'm like, I think if I were to flip one and I really liked it, I would be totally fine with it. Marin platform goes crazy. Yes, thank you. I'm glad you like the customizability of the leaf. You also started cubing recently. I'm assuming that's like Rubik's Cubes? I would kill for a new Machine-Wise trainer. Like a new trainer blade. Unfortunately, the Prisma blade is balanced so well, I can't even be mad at it. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I'm like, I think if it's, like, I don't think it's, like, the worst looking thing in the world. I feel like the like, how it bends out. I like the cutouts. It always just looked like a weird like face to me. But I mean, I feel like yeah, if it's balanced well, then you can't complain. Oh, this is also a side note. I don't think I mentioned this, but I was like envisioning that if this existed as a product, the Leaf, it would be cool to have like where you could buy separate inserts, like different colors, or even choose the colors that come with it, whether it be like the aluminum or the G10 colors. That way, like you don't have to buy an entire other knife to get like the color scheme you want. That's also why, if this were to exist, I feel like the price would not be incredibly cheap, just because it's like a lot of things to machine and whatnot. I believe John's Balisong Blunder owns a speed channel Prisma, though. Yes, that is correct, I believe. I'm just trying to think, has he done a review on it? I know he's talked about it, and he says that he really likes it. And I see him using it a lot, so. Yes, he does have a review on it, or at least a video on it. He says it's the best Balisong trainer. So, there you go. That guy's collection is insane. Oh, yeah, I think somebody asked me earlier how much I've spent on Balisongs. Not that much. Well, I mean, kind of a lot, but like, because I've gotten, I've used like gift cards for a couple, like my Vulp and the Squiddy A that I have. And then I have like a couple that are just like cheaper ones, like under $30. And then I have some that I got as gifts, or like one that I got as a gift for Christmas. And then I won one in a giveaway, and I got the Squid Trainer for free. So I have not spent that much money. Which is also like why I'm hesitant to buy like something like a Rack and Trainer, because that would be like spending probably like as much money as I've spent on all of my Balisongs on one Balisong. So like I feel like if I don't love it the most, if I don't like to flip it the most, whatever I buy that's like more expensive, then I would be like, oh, that was kind of a not a waste, but you know. Yeah, I think John has started more recently, but he has posted like a lot of videos, or like a lot more than some people, myself included. I hope that Squid makes a way to order custom Squiddies, meaning you can choose the color of each handle and blade. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I feel like the way that they do it, I'm not sure about the Squiddy U actually, but like it's like different kinds of plastics for the colors. So that'd be interesting. You have that Squid Trainer, don't you? You are probably good for Squid Trainer lineup unless you really like handle bias. Yes, I do have the Squid Trainer. It is right here. You can hear it. Okay, that is good to know. See, that's the thing. I've wondered if now that I have the Squid Trainer, if it even makes sense to get a Rack and Trainer. Yeah, I got a Kraken Trainer last month, and I must say, tops of bulb 100 volt. I definitely believe that. I feel like that definitely makes sense. I feel like that's what everybody kind of says, which is why I'm like back before I had the Squid Trainer, I was like, that seems like the one, if I were to just have to buy a Balisong without flipping it, that I would get. But then it's like also hard, because I've heard people say like The Orion 1.5 is really good. Like James Hill said, it's like, he's like, if I remember correctly, it was like flips at like double its price, which would be, you know, I mean, not as much as the Kraken, but like really good. So that's, I'm like, well, and that was like what, 75, 85, depending on what, like I would get the trainer, which is cheaper. But yeah, I'm like, that's also, I'm not super, honestly, I don't really know what balance I like, but I do know, I guess, Ethan, what you're saying about the being good for squid's lineup. I do really like the balance of the squid trainer and how neutral it is. So I don't think I would prefer the Kraken's more handle biasness. So that's why I'm also like, I don't think I would get one unless I tried it and really liked it. But that is good to know. So thank you. I love my Kraken trainer, but the squid trainer has my heart. Yeah, I think it's that's why I'm like, I just really want to try other Balisongs, because it's like, yeah, I'm like, I feel like once you try them, then you have a better idea of like, oh, what you actually would like, what you actually would want to spend the money on. I got the Kraken trainer at Copenhagen, the zippy inserts. Oh, you use the zippy inserts and the top weight in. Okay. I just really want an OG Squiddy that looks like a hot dog. The handles would be tan, the blade would be red. I feel like you could paint it then. That'd be pretty funny though. They do have a curved hot dog Balisong. I've seen it like Amazon, but that's not the same. Yeah, the Kraken trainer has more handle bias and a bit less momentum. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Because I think when I remember, like, when I was researching the squid trainer or whatnot and, like, looking into, like, what squid recommends, and it seems like, yeah, why would you choose the Kraken trainer necessarily, like, over the squid trainer? And I think it was, like, the Kraken trainer is the one you want to go for if you want, you know, to get the live blade, which, you know, makes sense. But for myself personally, I don't really ever see myself flipping sharp knives because I don't want to cut my fingers, because it's just really annoying. And I like to do other things, like play the guitar and not be in pain. I'm such a this is such a silly moment. I was fidgeting with, I have like this karambit thing that like it like folds, and I was just like, the action's really bad, and I was trying to like open and close it, but like my finger slipped in a weird way, and like it like sliced across my ring finger on my right hand, and I was at that moment I realized, yeah, I don't ever really want to flip a sharp Balisong, because obviously it's like with trainers, you know, you flip differently, but I've done things with my trainers where if it was sharp, it would have been really bad, but it's just not worth it for me. So yeah, I had a Band-Aid on my hand. So I got the experience of what it's like to get cut from a knife and then flip, but not with a Balisong. Yeah, it's also really heavy, the squid trainer, for twirls or ladders. Yeah, it is heavy, and that's one of the things where I'm like, I feel like if, and yeah, I feel like that's why I honestly, I do also still, even after the squid trainer, enjoy flipping my Volp, because it is lighter. But I feel like it's also just because how much of that plays into like me being used to it. Because that's something I've noticed, like the whole idea of, because I was flipping the squid trainer primarily for like the whole month of January, and so I definitely like got more used to it, and so where it didn't feel as heavy, I do think that what you learn a lot of tricks on has effects on how you view Balisongs, but also like what you just flip a lot. And so, yeah, it's one of those things where, yeah, even like talking about, I'd love to go to Blade Show and try a bunch of things out, but also that wouldn't even be like 100% accurate thing, because it's like, to really try something out, you need to, you know, flip it for a little bit. But I mean, I would imagine it would help to like, you know, figure out, oh, do I like this or not? I honestly don't care about live blades because I just care about the flipping experience. Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm not, as much as it would be fun to carry a Balisong around for to be able to have something I can flip and use as a knife, I wouldn't do that even if it was legal, which I think it could be. But yeah, so I think live blades are like cool, and I think obviously respect to people that flip sharp. But for me, it's just not worth it. There's something about a live blade that has the edge over trainers. Yes, very well said. Also, the Squid Industries Hydra looks amazing. My dream Balisong there. I don't know, like, if it's just me, but I don't know. I'm, like, not a huge, like, I feel like it hasn't really stood out to me as looking that cool. Like, I think the Tsunami looks so much cooler to me personally, but, I mean, I just love the Japanese Tanto. But props to the Hydro for having Ultem spacers. I think Ultem is really cool, which is why I like the Squid EA. I've been married for 3 years. Love the more tactical look of the blade of the Hydro, and the handles look great. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, has like a tactical look. That's a good description. I'm just looking at pictures of it right now. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. To me, I just not a huge fan of the blade cutout, or like the holes in the blade. But it's not bad. Valorant, Valorant Balisongs. Yeah, they definitely look like they would have a bad handle slap. So you're saying that there should be Balisongs that are more detailed, I guess, but not over detailed. Yeah, I mean, it also makes sense why like simplistic designs are more popular, just because the more intricate the milling is, the longer it takes to make it, and the manufacturing process, like time would go up, which is yeah. Yes, the titanium Kraken, that looked pretty interesting. It looked like the handles look very like flat and like not textured. That's the other thing. I'm like, I've never even flipped a titanium Balisong. It'd be fun to flip a titanium Balisong, because people even talk about like, oh, it's just grippier, and it would be interesting to experience. Welcome back, the buffness. I feel like I could actually like look up these things. Let's see, stream. Boom. Aha, I already had Instagram up. Let's see. I want to see the titanium Kraken. I'm so bad at navigating on Instagram. I don't follow that many people. I'm not really an Instagrammer. I know I do. Where's Squid Industries? That's not it. Here it is. There it is. Aha. The titanium Kraken. Yeah, it looks like, I don't know, to me, like it looks so like different. I mean, obviously it's titanium, but like it looks so flat and not textured like at all. Which I don't know, is texturing a thing that is, I guess, isn't done like as much on titanium. I guess because it's grippier, and also it's a much harder material. So, or I don't know, much harder, but a harder material. So I guess that would be more expensive to do that. Titanium is basically lighter. So titanium is lighter than steel, along with being durable, but it is heavier than aluminum. So I think that's why these cutouts, the titanium Kraken has cutouts all the way, like through, because titanium is heavier. And it looks like it's sandwich? I don't know. It is not channel, I don't think. Chat is covering the Kraken. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Let me move chat. Actually, that's the thing. I have like the jankiest setup. I don't know how to. I had to have the chat on the left to block all this extra space, but. Hello, Jake Flips. Thanks for popping in and saying congratulations. Thanks for stopping in. It's good to see you here. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, the grip on like the Kraken faces is gone. Interesting. Serif, wait. Yes, Slap the Sushi, you've been enjoying the Squiddy Owl colors. I feel the same way. I was like not a huge fan of just like the super polished Squiddy Owl, but like the teal looks pretty cool. Yeah, the Buffness is wondering if they didn't have time to add the pattern, or if they just deleted it. That's a good question. My guess would be that it maybe doesn't need it because it's titanium, and so it's more grippy, and also would be more expensive, time-consuming, whatnot, to mill because it's titanium. Okay, should I move the chat back and then close? Well, I don't know where to put chat. I put chat back. Chat goes back. I lock you, chat. You have been locked. So what can you see? Ah, yes. Yeah, I'd love to see them keeping the colors in stock instead of limited drops. Yeah, it'd be interesting too if like with the swordfish they have like combined colors. Okay, I close. All right, I really should end this stream and go to bed. So yeah, thank you everybody for joining. Any final questions? Now is the time. Something just popped into my head, and I'm tempted to make a really bad pun to end the stream, and I might have to do it. I think I have to do it. Also, random thing for all of you in the chat and anybody that has made it to the end of this video. What should I call? You know, some people like, oh, they call their viewer something. should I call you guys anything? All right, leave it in the comments below. Thank you everybody for joining. Once again, thank you so much for hitting 3,000 subscribers, and more importantly, just thank you for just watching the videos and enjoying learning from them, commenting. I appreciate that. No worry, Jake flips. Oh, you're at rehearsal. That sounds fun. I hope it went well. But yeah, thank you everybody. I really appreciate getting to that people actually showed up, because I was a little like, is anybody even going to show up? But it's cool that people did. So thank you so much. And now I need to figure out how to end the stream again. Yeah, it's getting pretty late. I need to, I think last time I ended the stream too soon after I said my last line, and so it got cut off. So I won't do this time. But yeah, I'm sorry, but I need to make like my Balisong and leave. That's right. Bye everybody.